pros and cons. One of the pros is it does have a place to put up your ropes. Of course, I think just about any jet ski should. The con is this opening isn't as big as I like. I think it needs to be twice as large. I think the 2019 models have kind of addressed that a little bit, but not really for 2017 and previous. I think they could have done a little better. It's just hard to get your fingers wrapped around there, and there's no need for it to be so tight. I think they could have put the bar halfway in the middle and gave you a little more room on either side. That would have been more of a benefit. I'm just gonna let myself float for a second here. So as you've seen me talk about in a lot of my videos, one of the biggest pluses about this GTI is the looks. This thing just looks amazing. It's just about 2 years old now, and it still looks like a brand new ski. It still looks very intriguing. It doesn't look outdated whatsoever. I mean, if you know what the newest model is, you'll know that it's not the absolute latest model that came out this summer. But even then, many people don't even really know until you get up close. One of the cons, like I've said before, is I think that you should be able to get a lot more colors with these models. They should offer a range of 4 to 5 different colors that you can choose. I think that would easily probably increase some of their sales. I don't know if they try to leave some of the best colors for some of the higher models, but I think even the higher models would do a lot of justice by allowing for, you know, multiple different colors to occur on each different model. That's for sure. One of the pluses of the GTI is these handles. These handle grips are amazing. They're a must-have, especially for long riding and so forth. I definitely love them. I love the ergonomics. Again, your feet, when you're on it, they just fit anywhere that you have them. It's just such a good feeling. I think the ergonomics of this thing is great. There's a lot of wash up here, so I'm going to start this up. I definitely don't want on the last day of being here to suck up something real bad. You see there's a lot of sticks and stuff, so I kind of want to make my way out of here. One of the pros of the GTI and Seadoo is the fuel economy that I get on this thing. I have a full tank, easily be able to go all day if I want to, no problems. That's always a plus. One of the cons, this piece here, you always have to make sure that it clicks in. If you don't, and you kind of just have it like this, you see, like, you pushed it, right? It still went up. I'll do it again. See, I pushed it, right? It kind of sits there, kind of looks like it's good, still goes up. You have to click it all the way in every time. So I like that there's storage there, but it's just, it gets me worried sometimes if you keep like your cell phone or something in there and then you hit a wave and it might fly out. The water. Now what do you mean the water? The way the water runs off of this ski is great. That's definitely a pro. They do have the splash guard in the front, that black piece. I don't really think it does much at all. I think it looks really cool, so I like that it's there. But I think the ski itself does a really good job of keeping the water pushed away from the hull and from the center, and obviously that means away from you, the rider. And I really like that. So if you don't really want to get wet, you don't have to. Of course, you'll feel a little, you know, sprinkles here and there of mist, but you won't really get a lot of water unless you really want to get wet. And I definitely like that. Pros, definitely the storage on this. There's a lot of good storage on this machine. I like that. I know the new ones kind of lift up here and it's easier to reach to, but you lose about 5 to 10 gallons of storage, I think, by that. If they were able to keep the same amount of storage and still use that mechanism, then that would be awesome. but I like the 30 gallons. Even with a lot of storage, you can run out quick. You pack like a lunch box with some drinks in there. You know, you got a little small, like my telescopic fishing rods, a little tackle box, you know, maybe a life vest or two in there. You know, you got your stuff to dock up with, your ropes and all that, maybe a rope to go towing with, like tubing. It can fill up quick. So the more storage you can have, the better. I think that's going to be one other plus of getting a larger machine. I think they go up to almost 40 gallons of storage. You know, the more the merrier. But I definitely like the storage on this. I like the low profile of it. And I like that this GTI is very nimble. I can stick to the water pretty good if I want to. But if I want to flip this thing around, if I want to, you know, do twists and turns and all that kind of stuff, or do 180s in the water, no problem at all. I like that it has the clock and the GPS on there. I know people are pretty much lost these days if they don't have Google, you know, showing them where to go. But when you're out in the water, even just having something as simple as a compass telling you, all right, well, you left going northwest, you know, you might want to come back going the opposite direction. You know, it's just good to have a visual. Now, obviously, you can use the sun and definitely landmarks and stuff, but the GPS works pretty well too, and I like that. I like the fact that you can add different features very easily. Like next season, I plan on adding the X package. I'm going to order it, I'm going to plug it in, I'm probably going to zip tie it up so that it doesn't move around, and that's it. And it'll just show up on the screen and it'll work. I like that kind of plug and play mentality. That's very important. Same thing with like the depth finder. Obviously, you got to place the depth finder piece of it. But I like that. I like that it just plug in and it'll work fine. And there's no real issues. There's not a lot of splicing of wires and that kind of nonsense. I don't want to be dealing with that kind of stuff. So I like those kind of features for sure. I like that this comes with the brake and the reverse and all of that. This is the first jet ski that I ever rode that had that kind of feature. And this one works really well. You can see when I'm at the dock. How's it going? Not too bad. Yeah. You can see when I'm just trolling around in the water, you can back up, move around, do anything like that, and it just makes it so simple. So simple, especially being near a dock where you don't want to keep like hassling around and this and that. Just a couple taps of each trigger and you're just good to go. You parked it right where you want it to. And I also like having the brake because if anything ever comes up on the water, you're able to stop a lot faster. And I mean a lot faster. It really makes a difference. I like that it has a sport in the eco mode. I use eco mode a lot actually. When I'm just going somewhere far and I'm not really in the mood to be speeding around and doing nonsense, I put it in eco mode so I'm not wasting gas and I'm just, you know, cruising, doing about 35, you know, hanging out. I like being able to jump into sport mode because it's a difference from touring and you really feel the difference. So it makes for, you know, different kinds of rides, and I like that, including with the VTS, which you can switch over here. You can really switch up the style and the way this jet ski performs, and I really like that. It does make a difference, and the VTS makes a difference when you're towing people. You can get them out of the water easier, and when you have a full craft. When you have two people on the back and you're riding them around, it makes a difference because you can get the jet ski to sit a lot flatter on the water quicker and more frequently and maneuver a lot easier when you adjust the VTS versus just being wherever it was going to be from the beginning. So those are definitely some pros for sure. One con I will say is this. I like that I have a towing ring, but just about every jet ski has a tow ring. They really should have put the eye hook on there. Again, I've said it before, Seadoo is just premium, and I think they could have done well by themselves to just put the eye hook on everything. I know companies like to have certain features for higher models or this and that, and you know, helps, you know, but something like that, everybody's towing with every one of these jet skis. They should have made it easy for us, and I think that's a failure on Seadoo's part. I just honestly do. They should have put an eye hook. I really like the grab handle. That's definitely a pro. It's very comfortable all the way around. There's no sharp edges on it. There are edges, and it looks nice with the craft, but all the edges are rounded off, so they're very comfortable, and you feel very sturdy holding on to it. I like the back platform. It's pretty large, not as large as the larger models, but I can definitely sit back here. Definitely over on these sides especially, you can fit a bigger person and they can sit down on the craft and have no problems. Reboarding ladder I think is a must for a jet ski. You can get on them without it, but man, it makes it easy. And not everybody is, you have a lot of people on these crafts, they've never been on a jet ski before. They've never been on small craft like this before. Some of them don't feel comfortable even just being in the water, right? So you don't want them fussing around in the back of the jet ski, probably trying to stand on your actual jet pump itself. The outlet. You don't know. You know what I mean? So if you got the ladder there, it makes it easy for everybody that's just new to jet skis. And even if you're used to it like me, sometimes you're out there for a while, you're tired. It's nice just to pull down the ladder and just step up and not have to use all this physical strength to like pull yourself onto the craft and do some kind of army technique to get on there. Yeah, I should be using these wakes. What did you think? I'll start it up? Yeah, I'll rip on one of these waves real quick. Might as well. Yeah, these are pretty nice. I don't see too many other boats out here, so. Yeah, gotta get it while you can, right? Gotta get it while you can. Like I said, it's a nice day, but there's not a lot of boats out. Probably because it's the end of the season. So hey, gotta get it while you can, like I said. And look at that, just stop, use the trigger, back into neutral. This thing just works great. I love this dash too. If you can notice, hopefully you can kind of see the sun glaring off. The sun's glaring, but you still see the entire dash, everything that it has to read. That is a pro. It could easily be some kind of cheap screen where it just like glares out when the sun's on it. And I'll go back to it again. I'll have the sun directly behind me. It's glaring on it. Now, I don't know if it'll pick up. I know LCD stuff with cameras kind of acts funny. There's lines and stuff sometimes. But I'm telling you, this is completely clear. Hopefully it does pick up on the camera as well. You see everything. There's not any part of that screen that I can't kind of make out because of the sun. The mirrors, while I wish they were able to move, because why not have added features? Again, I do think they're in a good spot and you can see pretty well out of them. So that's definitely a pro overall. I'm gonna go ahead and run around a little bit. I've done a little bit of this pro and con. I'm about halfway through. I'm definitely gonna chop it up just so it's not so long. But I wanna get out in the water and run around. That's basically what this is. So yeah, let's go. Hey, just hit 70 hours. 2 years, 70 hours. I like those numbers. I like them a lot. Alright, so more pros and cons of my Seadoo. Pro, my GTI does 60 miles per hour. Don't believe me? Yeah, see? You saw it. So, that's not bad. That's really not bad at all. I love this 155. It's so good, so reliable. That's one other thing I think is a very good pro about Seadoo. I know the Yamahas, they're very popular for being rentals and so forth. But this Seadoo has just held up. It's required almost no maintenance. I did an oil change before I even really needed to. I plan to do one at least once a year, so I'm going to be doing the review or the how-to on the oil change soon. I really don't even need to do it again, but I'm going to, just because, I just rather have fresh oil in it every year. Especially if it's going to be sitting in the garage for a few months, or at least like 6 months. I'd rather have fresh oil in there. And what other cons can I come up with? Oh, fuel capacity. It is good. It's 16 gallons. I only say con because I know that there's more space inside the interior of this Seadoo, and I know they could have fit a 20-gallon tank. I'm surprised that even the larger models, like the 300s, like those don't even come with larger tanks. They still come with a 16-gallon tank. So I'll consider that a con. Especially Yamaha does at least 18 gallons. I mean, now they are fuel efficient, especially with the eco mode and the drive-by wire and all that helps out a lot. But fuel capacity, I definitely think they could have squeaked out a few more gallons. So I'll say con on that. Damn, what else? Pro, the skid mat. I love this. I think it's so much better than what the Yamahas or the Kawasaki's have. Theirs is soft, but I don't like all those bumps, and especially if you're not riding with like water shoes on, I feel like it would get annoying after a while. And it's not like you're gonna get that much more grip. This you can hear that. It's sticky if you want it to be. It is, there's a tackness to it, but the water just runs off. It's super smooth. When you're sitting on the back deck, it's comfortable to be on. You don't feel all these little ridges in your ass, you know what I mean? So, what else? I definitely like the badging on all this. I'll say it's a pro. Just the styling in general. You know what I mean? I like all the contours. I like the way it's just, there's a lot of attention to detail, so that I really appreciate from Seadoo. And I'm proud of Seadoo, so I like seeing, the BRP and the Seadoo everywhere. It's just nice. It works for me. It really does. The seat. This touring seat is very nice. There's so much padding. It's always comfortable to be on. I really wasn't sure about this when I first saw them. I'm like, I don't know. This is so good. This tiered seating. This really, when you're pushed back, it just holds you in place well. This isn't the Ergolock, but it still kind of feels like it. It wraps around on the side very nicely. You're able to tuck in a lot. Even up here, as I'm on the top tier, sitting up here, if I ever ride as a passenger or I'm on the back, looking for tubers and so forth, it's just a comfortable feeling. So I give a lot of respect to the seat, and it doesn't get that hot when it's in the sun. It's just really nice, so I definitely respect that too. Another pro would be the key. I love these keys. I've said it in a lot of my other videos, but I like the fact that no one can take my Seadoo. I also like just the way that it works. Instead of the little clip-on thing that's so, to me, it's just very kind of cheap. I'm surprised that Yamaha and Kawasaki still use that. But this has this big notch right here, and you hear it? You know what I mean? It clips on there, there's no problem. You saw how stretched out I was, it didn't pop off, but if you fall off this thing, it's coming right off, and I like that. And the other thing I like, it's in the center. You know what I mean? So your hand's over here, I don't want a clip hanging right next to my hand and always getting in the way of my wrist and stuff. That would be annoying. I like that it goes right in the center, so whatever way my hands are going, it's free of a cord. Those little details make a difference. So that's definitely another plus and a pro as far as the Seadoo goes. I really can't think of much else. I'll probably maybe, go over a couple more things as I'm washing it down. I might pull out the GoPro. But that's pretty much going to wrap up the pros and cons. Definitely check out some of my other videos. I'll put some of the links up above. SK Lifestyle, hope you're appreciating it. Leave your comments down below. If you want to see any other kind of videos, let me know. Leave it in the comments section. You see, just by doing this video, this was a request by somebody. I've done a few videos just per request. So, let me know what you want to see. Let me know what kind of activities you want to see me go do. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be into the snowboarding this winter. Maybe I'll do some snow tubing and see what else I can get into. Maybe even get to rent some ski-doos or something if we go up to Vermont, or we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, hope you guys are appreciating all the content. And with that said, SK Lifestyle, wrapping up another great season out on the water. I hope you guys have enjoyed all the content, and I can't wait for next year. I love being out on the water on this thing. It's such a great thing. SK Lifestyle. Hope you guys know the motto. If you don't, need to go check it out because it means everything. Carpe diem, be thankful, and strive to be happy. That's the motto. SK Lifestyle. See you guys next time.